Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Hope you are having a great year so far. Today we are starting with a new problem solving series in Python. We will be solving LeetCode blind 75 problems. I will put out the link in the description box so that you can also check out the problems and solve the problems on your own. I will be using Python for this video series. I will try to explain all my solutions in a very simple manner. In case you have a better solution than me, please let me know in the comment sections. And without further ado, let's jump into the first problem of the series. Okay, so today's problem is the first problem from LeetCode 75, which is to merge strings alternately. Let's read out the problem statement. Before reading out, I can see that it's listed as an easy problem, so it should be fairly simple. So you are given two strings word1 and word2. Merge the strings by adding letters in alternating order, starting with word1. If a string is longer than the other, append the additional letters onto the end of the merged string, return the merged string. So we are basically given two strings, word1 and word2. Our goal is to merge them by alternating characters from each. And if one string is longer, we simply add the remaining characters at the end. For example, if we see A, B, C, and P, Q, R, so alternatingly we merge them by taking one element from the first string and the one element from the second string, and by that we merge them using and the output becomes A, P, B, Q, C, R. But if one string is longer than the other one, so in this case A, B, and P, Q, R, so we take A from the first string, P from the second string, B from the first string, Q from the second string, and after iterating through this, we see that there is nothing left in the first string. So we go back to the longer string and take whatever that is left in this longer string, and we add it to the end of our output. Similarly for this case as well. In this case, we take A, P, B, Q, and C, D is remaining in the longer string. So C and D, C, D is appended to the end. So we are going to solve this problem in two approaches. One approach is going to be using simple loop, and the other one is using a Python function called zip function. So we will see that later on. But first, let's start with the first approach. So we are going to iterate with both the strings and pick one element each from there and keep it in a list, and then finally convert that list into a string to return our merged string output. Okay, so we are firstly we are initializing an empty list to store the merged characters. Okay, and to iterate through the strings, we are initiating two pointers at 0 for iterating through both the strings, and now we need to iterate while both the pointers are within bound. So while I is less than length of word1 and j is less than length of word2, we are adding the element whichever we are going iterating through the so let's say for word1 we are assigning I. So we are appending the ith element from word1 in our empty list, and simultaneously at that same go we are appending the jth element from word2 to our empty list. Now if we want to go to the next element, we are just simply incrementing the pointers by 1, and this loop will continue till one of the condition is not satisfied. And if there is one string longer than the other, the remaining elements are not going to be captured in this loop, so we are in need of adding them separately. So what we are going to do is we are going to use the extend function to add uh, any remaining characters from any string, right? So we are going to use extend function. If the word1 is longer than this, and if the word2 is longer then g till 1, g till end, right? Now okay, cool. Now our list is ready with the merged characters, but it is still a list, it is not a string, and we need a string as an output, as you can see from here. So how can we convert this list into string? By simply using this method. and we will pass on the result, right? Not results, right? Okay, so let's run and hope for the best. Okay, I think I have made a mistake here, right? Extend, instead of extend I have mentioned x something else, right? So let's run and check. Yep, it is running and I am going to submit. Yep, it is now accepted and 180 test cases have passed, right? Now, how can we do it in another method? So in terms of time complexity, we can simply say that it is going to take a big O of n because we need to iterate through the entire string, and there's no way we can improve the time complexity in this case. Now, in terms of space complexity also, since we are taking an empty list, the space complexity is also becoming big O of n as we are storing everything after merging, all the characters after merging into the empty list. But in terms of the length of the code, if we use a function called zip function in Python, we can actually have the entire code replaced by a single line. So before moving into that, let me just brief you about zip function. So what is the zip function? A zip function pairs up characters from both the strings if we pass on them. So it can take list, it can take tuples or strings as well. So zip function pairs up corresponding elements into tuples. So let me show you how it works. For example, let's say we take this here and let's say we are implementing zip function, zip of word 1 comma word 2. It will convert it will throw, okay, it is a tuple. So yeah, if I convert this into a list, if I convert this into a list, so here you see it is actually making my life much more easier. So if I use the zip function, I can completely remove this entire block of code. So if the zip function can replace this entire block of code, right? This is the same thing that is happening, right? In the inside the while loop, it is basically taking all the alternate elements and pairing it up. Now, instead of pairing it up, if we want to concatenate all these things, how can we do that? So, if we want to concatenate this thing, what we will simply do is, instead of using list over here, what we will do is, we will simply concatenate this for a comma b in this a plus b, right? So we are going to concatenate this thing, and this is basically a list. So what we will do is that we will convert this into a string, and let's see. So what is happening over here is that we are taking every element from two elements from this pair a comma b, and we are concatenating them and then converting using the join function, converting them into string, right? Now there's a limitation for the zip function. So the zip function actually, if one string is shorter, the zip function will stop once it reaches the end of the shorter string. For example, if this is the case, sorry, it is a tuple, so it will not print out anything. So here you go. Here you see, if since this one is shorter, it stopped iterating after two elements. So we are going to miss out few things if the word lengths are not matching if we use this method. But this is the scenario where we use the extend function over here. Now, can we implement this extend function inside this single line? The answer is yes. How can we do that? By simply concatenating the string. If you see the logic over here, what is happening if the word one is more if it is the longer word, then we will definitely have some elements from point I from index I till the end. So here also, what is I in this case? So we have already so word 1, we have already, so for example, let's say if you have abcd, right? So word 1, if it is bigger than word 2, so we have already covered till abc, right? So what is abc? It is having the same index as the length of the shorter word, right? And we need the remaining ones as well. So we have already covered till c, we need the extra element. That's how we get it. Let's run and find out. You see, we get the D over here. If we put DE instead of that, we get the DE over here. So if the second word is if the second word is bigger than the first word, we just simply do this and STUV. If it is the case, then we can see that TUV, which is the extra part, has been added. And that is what we are going to do instead of this entire block of code. We are simply returning a single line, and that's how we solve this problem in a single line. It is accepted and it is passing all the test cases as well. So that's how we solve. Merge strings alternately in multiple ways. Started with a simple loop, and we finally saw a super clean one-liner solution, right? So let me know in the comment which one you liked more, and also if this video helped you, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you in the next one.